everyone, hope you are well and had a nice weekend. So here we are back with Performing Arts Online. Sorry that I can't be with you and see you at the Pyramid, but hopefully these sessions are going to spark some creativity and give you some interesting activities to do whilst at home. So I took a bit of inspiration for the session today from World Mental Health Day, which was just a couple of days ago. And with the recent changes and things that we're able to do, I thought maybe some writing today would be really useful, and focusing on things that make us happy. So, and particularly things maybe in our house as well, because we might be a bit limited to what we can do and where we can go at the moment. So I thought that might be useful for us to do. So the first thing you need to do is grab some a pen and paper. That's all you're going to need at the moment for this session. So grab those and I'll see you in a sec. Brilliant. Hopefully you've got everything you need. There's going to be a few timed exercises, but I'll time them for you so you don't need anything else. So pen and paper to one side for now. First thing I thought we'd do is just do some breathing. I think at the moment things can feel a little bit overwhelming, especially places that are getting new restrictions and new rules and things. So I found breathing to be really useful. Breathing is a handy thing to do. We do often or occasionally in performing arts do some breathing activities to warm ourselves up. And I thought we would just do a really simple breathing activity together that is not necessarily a warm-up, but it's just something that can sort of focus our energy, focus our thinking and connect to our body a little bit. And it can calm and de-stress as well. You might know this technique already, and if you do, just go with it. It's called square breathing or box breathing. So the breathing basically follows a pattern of a square. So you breathe in for 4 counts, you hold that breath for 4 counts, you release for 4 counts, and then you rest for 4. Then you breathe in, hold, out, rest. So visually, if you need some help with remembering what you do, you follow basically a square. We'll just do a few rounds of those together, I thought, just to practice it and just to get into a really good, peaceful state, ready to do some writing. Okay, so if we breathe in for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, we hold, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, rest, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. That's the basic box breathing, square breathing. I'm going to ask you now, if you want to do this with your eyes closed and just think about the breathing. I'll just talk us through it. We'll do it like 3 or 4 times, and hopefully that any stresses that you might have had today will sort of ease away a little bit and give us that headspace to think creatively. Okay, so if you want to just close your eyes, we're going to breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, rest, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, rest, 2, 3, 4. Try not to take too deep breaths or exhale too quickly, just gently breathing in and gently breathing out. Okay, we'll do a couple more. So breathing in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, rest, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, rest. 2, 3, 4. Last one. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Rest. And you can rest. Continue now to breathe normally. If that's brand new for you, that is an exercise you can have up your sleeve. You can do it every morning, you can do it before you go to sleep, you can do it any time during the day that you may be feeling a little bit stressed, or you just need to connect with your body and de-stress a little bit. It's a really useful tool. Just do it a couple of times, do it as many times as you need to. As I said before, we do breathing exercises for a performing arts sort of function, to warm ourselves up, to get our vocal cords ready and get our diaphragms ready and stuff. But that one really, I think, is just really helpful just to calm ourselves and get into a focused sort of state. So I hope you find it useful. Okay, let's do some writing. So we're going to start off I was thinking about things that make me happy, and one of those is tapping into my imagination, being creative, being a bit silly, and escaping, I suppose, sometimes a little bit from everyday life. So that's why I have chosen these activities today. And the first one is all about imagination. So you can have 1 minute, and it's something called automatic writing. You've probably done this with me before if you've watched my videos. I'm going to give you a word and you just write for a minute responding to that word. You don't have to continue with that word, you can go off on a tangent. If you get stuck, you can go back to that word. There's loads of flexibility in this. It's really a warm-up activity. I'm going to do the first one with you, and I'll read out what I've written, just to give you a little idea on what might be, well, I was going to say what you need to be doing, but there's no right or wrong with this. You can really just write anything you like, but I'll share mine with you. Okay, so the first one, I need some plain paper. First one, if you want to write this word at the top of your piece of paper, is the word shoes. Okay? You can have 1 minute, you just write anything, don't worry about spelling, punctuation, sentences. It can be a list, it can be a story, it can be a description, anything you want. Responding to shoes. Your minute starts now. We're over halfway now. Five seconds left. So you finish your last sentence, put the pen down. That's your time up. Fantastic. The time goes fast. I haven't written very much, but that's absolutely fine, you don't need to. So for shoes, I wrote walking a path, worn and used, but comfy and reliable, hard to part with, red leather, soft laces, tell a story of the steps they've walked. Okay, it could just be a list, it could be a description, it can be a bit of script, whatever you want. Okay, so that's the idea. Next one, the word that you are responding to is waterfall. So if you want to write waterfall at the top of your piece of paper, that's your next one. You're going to have a minute, and you're going to spend that minute just responding to the word waterfall. Your time starts now. halfway through your time. If you get stuck, just think back to the word waterfall. What does it make you think of? Can you describe it? Tell a story. 10 seconds left. Okay, start to write your last word because that is your time. Up, pens down, have a little rest. Fantastic. I wish I could hear some of these. The final one we're going to do is, rather than just one word, it's going to be the Great Escape. Okay, the Great Escape. So write that down, have a quick little think. Because it's more than just a word, you might want to write a start of a story, or who's escaping, why are they escaping. But also, if you just want to write words associated with that or things it makes you think of, a film, the song, soundtrack, anything like that, just go for that. Again, it's just a minute, no right or wrong. It's just you responding to that stimulus. The Great Escape. Your minute starts now. Halfway through your time. The Great Escape. Okay, there's only about 10 seconds left, so start wrapping up your ideas or your sentence. Don't worry about completing this. Okay, your time is up, so pens down. Fantastic. I really wish I could hear what some of these are as well, the Great Escape. Any of these ideas, any of these activities we're doing today can be picked back up again. So if you've really sort of struck on something there and you wish you had the time, I mean, you can pause the video now and continue, that's fine. Or just keep that page blank, a couple of pages around it. Come back to it later on and develop it and expand on it and see where it goes. I do feel like the imagination and creativity is a great escape. So at any time you can use any of these activities and escape into a little world of your own imagination. Right, I have a picture now as a stimulus. It's loads of pumpkins, okay? So autumn is here and Halloween is on its way, so it's quite seasonal to see pumpkins or squashes. Again, just gonna have a minute and I want you to describe the scene of this picture. Or if that's a bit tricky, it doesn't come naturally to you, if you think I don't know what you mean, just use this as a stimulus. But if you want to, sort of a way to start with that would be maybe to describe where these are, what's happening. Ignore the fact that they're in a magazine, they've got some writing at the top. So I'm going to put this there, hopefully everyone can see it. I'm going to press the timer, 1 minute to respond to this picture as your stimulus. If you want to describe where they are, what's happening, or if you just want to use it as a stimulus and write a story about them, anything you want, okay? Your time starts now. Even if you want to talk about pumpkins, writing about what they look like, what they feel like, what they represent, the colours, how they make you feel. You like this time of year, you don't like this time of year. You're halfway through the pumpkin patch. Okay, 15 seconds left on the pumpkins. Just 2 seconds left. Okay, that's your time up. Fantastic. Pause, put your pen down, give your hands a little stretch, because what we've done there is quite an intensive sort of 4 minutes of just intensive writing. So well done for doing that. This helps warm us up, get us into the flow of it, and hopefully this automatic writing stops us censoring ourselves too much, because sometimes, especially I find when I'm writing, I go, no, that's not a good idea, and I overthink it, end up spending a long time. Usually the best idea is the first idea, and this timed writing just stops us doing that. Okay, the next activity we're going to do, excuse me, you can stop the video and spend as long as you like on it. Go make a cup of tea, have a little think, come back to your paper, write some ideas, then come back to the video, okay? So I'd like you to complete the short story. The story is entitled The Killer Kit Kat. So remember, this is a great escape today. This is an imagination. You don't need to be realistic in any way at all. Let your brain, your imagination run away with itself. Okay, so I've written the start of the story. Obviously you can rewind, listen to this as many times as you like, have a good think, pause the video and write down how you think the story goes from here. Okay, so the story so far. One day, Mary was taking a break from her job at the town hall. She'd been busy inputting numbers all morning, was ready to get some fresh air. She reached into her bag, grabbed the Kit Kat she'd bought as a mid-morning treat, stepped into the crisp autumnal air. Just as she was about to snap her Kit Kat in half, the mayor got out of his car, gave her a wave. What happens next? Remember, the story is called The Killer Kit Kat. You can go wherever you like with that. Kill off whoever you want. Mary, the mayor, everyone. It's up to you. So we've got Mary taking a break from her job. She's got a Kit Kat. She's about to break it in half. And the mayor arrives. It's called The Killer Kit Kat. When you are ready, pause your video, have a think about it and decide how you think that story continues, and ultimately how it ends. Good luck, enjoy, be creative, don't feel like you have to go down a certain path. The Killer Kit Kat could be a superhero. The mayor could have been overtaken by some evil character. It's not really the mayor anymore, maybe he's been turned into a robot, and you need to kill him by the Kit Kat, and it's the best for everyone. Whatever you think, good luck and enjoy. Excellent, well done. I'm sure the Killer Kit Kat stories are terrifying and brilliant, and I wish I could hear them. There's always the opportunity, if you want to comment on this video below, or you want to send in any of your work to Pete or any of the Creative MD's team, they can send it on to me. I would love to read them. I'm the same as you, I'm stuck at home a little bit at the moment, so anything like that would cheer me up. That'd be ace. Or if you want to share it with the rest of the group, you can put it on the Facebook page as well. I'm sure loads of people would love to read it. Okay, so the final sort of a writing activity before we look into our house for things that make us happy. It's going to be a story named The Achievement. So if you want to write this at the top of a piece of paper, The Achievement, and then there's a side sort of title, which is A Tale of Two Fish. The Achievement, A Tale of Two Fish. All you've got this time is a title. It's up to you to decide what happens. If you want to make that a script, so the two fish chatting and adventure, you want to make it like a film script, so you might be more descriptive, like it's like an animation. Next we see the fish diving underneath rocks, hiding from the shark, whatever you think might happen. You can write in any form you like, as a story, a script, film script, anything. The Achievement, A Tale of Two Fish. Again, pause your video, have a little think and write your story. Excellent, well done, fantastic. Loads of writing happening today, lots of activities. If you feel like you're just starting out on some of these, you can go back at any time. So anytime you want to escape or get into your imagination, come back to these things. So whether that might be what you end up writing a poem about pumpkins later on, a script between two fish, or a story about the life of a pair of shoes. Any of these things can be developed. So keep them in your back pocket for any of those days where you're feeling a bit unmotivated or you need an escape. Okay, now we've got to think about next things that are in our house that make us happy, okay? And you might want to pause the video and just have a little think about several things that you enjoy in your house. It doesn't need to be material things. It could be sitting on your sofa, it could be that blanket, it could be this lovely cushion that you love cozying into. It could be when you put the heating on. So have a little bit of think about some of the things in your house that bring you joy and happiness. And then you're going to choose one of them. So you might want to write a list of all the different things and then you choose one. Could be a cat, a book, your kettle, a cosy jumper, literally anything. I have chosen my radio. So this is my one of many things in my house that brings me joy and happiness. So pause the video. I've brought mine along to show you because I think it's pretty good. But if you want to get it, if you can, I mean if it's a cat they might wander off every now and then, but it might just help you to have that stimulus like with the picture. It might just help to have that nearby you while you do your writing. So pause the video, make a decision on what you're going to focus on for this activity. Great, so the first thing we're going to do is write about all the qualities that you love about this object. So I'll tell you what I wrote. For example, my radio. I love the colour and the style. I love that it's in the kitchen, so I can listen to it when I'm cooking or I'm cleaning. I love the sound as I switch it on, the sort of, I don't know if you'll have heard that, it's not plugged in so it doesn't do it properly, but I love that old fashioned, it's not doing it anymore, but sort of an old school design, I like that. I love that I've got some channels saved so I can easily find the things that I enjoy, and I love hearing music come from it, and I also love the discussions I sometimes hear on the radio channels that I listen to. So you can write as little or as much as you want about your object, what you like about them, go into as much as detail as you like. So pause the video now, write about all the qualities you love about your object. Right, next, if your object could speak, what would it say? Okay, so this is what I've written for my radio. I'm here for you, no matter what. But there's more to me than just the 3 channels you've saved. I'm wasted on you. Don't forget to flick around. Try something new from time to time. I like it when I'm on and can see you're happy. But I will also deliver news on the hour, and I know that this can be difficult at times. I'm sorry for the annoying adverts too. Don't worry, a song will come along soon. Okay, so that's what I think my radio might say if it could talk. Over to you. Your object, what would it say if it could talk? Pause the video, make some notes on that. Great, and finally, if your object could hear you speaking to it, what would you say to it? Now if you've chosen a dog or a cat, obviously they can hear to an extent, but I still think you should do this activity and write down what you would say, what you would really say to them if you knew that they could hear and understand, I guess. Okay, so what I would say to the radio is, thank you for your clarity and the ease. You blend into my kitchen perfectly. Do you mind being under the cupboard in the corner? I hope not, as it was the best option. Do you ever mind when I switch you off? It's nothing personal. I've known you a long time and I'm very grateful to you. That's what I would say to this radio if it could listen, if it could hear. Hopefully it has had my thanks there. I'm going to leave you to write down what you would say if your object could hear you and understand you. Off you go. Fantastic. Okay. Obviously there may be many objects in your house that you feel the same about. And at any time, again, these are just opportunities to bank some exercises. So if you're through the week you're having a difficult day, or you need some more things to do, you can do this with as many objects as you like. Writing about the qualities that you love, what you think they might say, and what you would say to them if they could hear. Those 3 sort of things you could do with literally as many objects as you like. And if that then developed into a story or a script or a character, then you can develop that as much as you like. Final task for today then, I'd like you to write a list of things that bring you happiness. We're thinking mostly in the house. Now, when I started back the sessions in the pyramid, we talked about some of the things that people had found joy from since lockdown. Some people talked about things in their house, other people talked about things when the restrictions eased and it was people they could see. We're going to go right back to the house again. The 4 walls, wherever you live, whoever you live with, just thinking about those things. What out of those things can you think of that bring you happiness? Not necessarily material things. So I've written a short list. I could have gone on for ages, but I've just done a short one. Dancing, that brings me a lot of happiness. So a song on the radio. Organising my handbag and the contents. Did that this morning and it felt brilliant. Reading a good book. Watching the Bake Off, which is back. Baking. Eating baking. All the same thing. That is baking, not bacon. I know sometimes it sounds like I'm saying bacon. So eating cakes, basically. Water. Now I've gone out of the box slightly of the house. I've gone against my own rules. The sea, a stream, or the Mersey. And I say that because I can get to the River Mersey for 10 minutes from my house. And I'm allowed to do that. And seeing the sea or water of any kind makes me happy. Fresh air in my lungs, so again, outside the house. But we are allowed to go out and have some exercise. Fresh bedding. Oh, it's one of my pure treats in life. Okay, that's just a short list. You can write as long or short a one as you like. Thinking about probably mostly in your house, but as I've sneaked a few outside things, you can do that as well. But not necessarily thinking about people, because at the moment it might be tricky for us to see all the people we'd like to. So we're thinking about other things. Okay, thank you so much for joining me this week. I hope you have found some of it useful and have a great rest of your week. Take care and I'll see you soon.